Welcome back, my friend. Here we are in the advanced tutorial. This is a little different, a lot different than the last tutorial you guys watched, if you watched it. In this one, you're not given any hints or handed anything. This is almost like if you were to start the main game as an Eve. So our only goal right now is to survive until we're 60, and we're only going to do that if we keep our yum bonus up. So we got to remember, I'm eating a wild onion. So I shouldn't eat another wild onion again because it will be meh food. So let's see. So this is a really sucky first craving to get. This mushroom takes an hour to create. Basically, you have to dig out a soil pit, take out all the worms, and then an hour later you'll get a mushroom. So it looks like we're not going to be doing any kind of craving satisfaction in this run. That's fine. We'll be alright. I have faith. We can eat a carrot, but we're going to need a sharp stone. So that is mission number 1. Find ourselves a sharp stone. To do that, we're going to need one of these round stones first. Now we need a nice hard, big hard rock to smash it against to make ourselves a sharp stone. There we go. Now we can eat one of these. And then we're going to want to do, I like to actually get I mean, I'm sure everyone does, get a basket first. So here you go. This is one way to make a basket. You can hit some wheat with a unprocessed stick, and that will get off the threshed wheat. That leaves you with just straw. And then you can take one of these saplings, turn it into a skewer, hit it. Now you have yourself a freshly made basket, a weak skewer, and your sharp stone. So now what I usually like to do is try to get some cloves, because what cloves will do, if you saw in the original tutorial, is it will make it so that you lose pips a lot slower. Like right now we are losing pips. We lose a pip every 6.9 seconds. That is really fast. With some cloves, we could probably double the length of one of our pips. So what we're going to need to do first is get some rope. There's some more milkweed over there. So what I'm doing right now is I'm gathering milkweed to make rope. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this rope, put it in our basket, come down here to find some reed. If you combine reed and rope, you get yourself a skirt, which should increase. There you go. There's some reed right there. I think I'm going to grab my sharp stone, hit this, get that, throw that over there, wear that, and there you go. We'll see soon what that does, but first I got to eat. Here you go. Here's some gooseberries. It's still yum for me. Keeping that yum bonus up. Next thing we're going to want to eat is a burdock root or a garlic if we want to get yum food. There you go, there's garlic. Normally I would save this for a farm, but right now we're just trying to make it to 60. We won't get to actually see any of the fruits of this game because it won't respawn me here. Okay, here we go. So now what I like to do is create a bow, and that can be another pretty easily acquired article of clothing, specifically a chest slot. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a bow and arrow, and then I'm going to find a mouflon, and we're going to skin it, kill it, skin it, and we can wear the fur. So right now we're at 8.6. Right now we're 8.6 pips. 8 seconds per pip. So that's still pretty low. We are burning through food. So we're going to definitely want to get some more clothes. Let me focus here for a second. So right now what I'm doing is I'm making an arrow. You can do that by combining thread with a skewer, a arrowhead, which I created using a sharp stone and a flint, and then a feather. You just have to hit the feather with this flint to create fletching. There you go, you have ourselves an arrow. And then to make a bow, I already have the necessary tool right here. There we go. Oh, wait, nope, gotta process it first. A hew shaft. Now we have a bow and arrow, and now we can find ourselves a mouflon. Hopefully there's one over here. Actually, probably, you know what, it'd be best if I ate before I came looking for this. So in these early games, when you don't have a lot of food options, you're just gonna have to eat mat food. There really isn't a way around it. So you just want to keep from starving for right now. Later on, we can focus on getting there. That's exactly what I'm looking for right there, a mouflon. So it's pretty easy to kill. One arrow will do it. And then we're going to take a sharp stone. Here you go. Get this round stone. Come over here. Thankfully, there is some flint right next to it. Take out the arrow. Throw that down. Skin this bad boy. And there you go. You got yourself a kind of like a little coat there. So we're already at 9.5 seconds per pip. Doing much better than before. Next thing we're going to want to do is catch some rabbits. So let's see here. There's I like to try to find around 5 of them together, because what that will do, where'd that basket go? I had a basket down here, I think. There it is. Okay. So what it will do, if you find 5 rabbits together, let's eat these onions just to stay alive. I know they're meh. Alright, so this is what I need to catch rabbits, but it's a yum, and that's more valuable to me right now. Alright, now we'll go find another one. We'll actually gather up some rope while we're at it. There you go. So what we're trying to do right now is create, you probably saw it in the tutorial that I played last if you watched it. Oh, perfect. These burdock roots are also going to help us. We're going to create a snare to catch some rabbits, and then we're going to use that burdock to make bait. And then what I really want to do is try, at least, to find a spot that's got about 5 rabbits. Because if they're kind of close to each other, then we can use them to create a backpack, which is going to more than double our carrying capacity, which is super useful. Alright, so here's a little tip for you. What I want to do right now is I want to carry this in my basket, but as you can see, I'm kind of maxed out. So I can either leave behind my sharp stone, or better yet, I can go back over here and grab that the U shaft, and I can attach, oh shoot, I don't have a backpack. Well, then there's no way around it. So what I'll probably do instead is I'll grab this, and I'm going to turn that into a hatchet, just so I can kind of start working on my my tool collection. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab another stick, straight stick, and I'm going to turn this into, shoot. Oh man, I'm messing up. It's kind of hard to talk and play at the same time. So what I'm trying to do right now is make a snare, basically. And I'm going to combine this rope with some stakes, but in order to do that, I'm going to need a sharp stone again, and foolishly I turned my sharp stone into a hatchet. And unlike other items, you can't get it back after you do that. Alright, here you go. It's fine though. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and turn these into stakes. And then I'm going to put this rope. Alright, good stuff. So now we just got to find a nice little collection of rabbits. I see some over here. There are 5 around each other. 1, 2, no, 3, 4. Is there one more? We can get one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. I'm just going to keep walking around until hopefully we find 5 rabbits relatively close to each other. The reason I prefer they be close to each other is because if they're really spread out, Makes it really hard to gather them all up, which we need to do to make the backpack. There's 3 more. Might just have to settle here pretty soon because too close together. No. Yeah, I can zoom out pretty far actually with this mod I have. The mod I'm using, by the way, is called Yum Life. It's really useful for zooming out and kind of checking your surroundings. It tells you your age and your gender. Not seeing a lot of rabbits all come close together. I'm gonna have to settle here pretty soon. Yeah, it's because now they're not even out of their hole. Well, doesn't really matter. Perfect. Here, this is exactly what we were looking for right here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop down the basket. We're gonna go find ourselves a nice flat rock. There's one right there. We're gonna grab that. Gotta throw it down. So if you remember from the first video, we need the flat rock. You put the burdock on the flat rock, hit it with a sharp stone, then you get yourself some rabbit bait. This is exactly what I was hoping for right here. This nice little collection of about 5 rabbits. There's more than 5 around, but 5 is all you need to make a backpack. Alright, I'm getting pretty low on food, so I think what I'm probably going to do is go get a sharp stone, eat a little bit, come back. I remember there was a nice little area with some burdock, so probably what I'll do, I'll head over there, I'll grab 1 burdock for the rabbits, 1 for myself. That should get us where we need to be. We'll eat this carrot while we're at it. Okay. Where were those burdock? I think they were right over here on the other side of this swamp. So yeah, you may have noticed there are different types of biomes. You got the swamp, I call the yellow one the savanna. I don't know if that's the real name for it. The green area I call the meadow. Then the grayish area, that's the mountains. You also have jungle, desert, and tundra. You get different resources in all of them. I'll go over that more later. Right now, we just got to stay alive, because I know it seems like I have a lot of food, but I'm actually losing it rather quickly. If I remember correctly, the burdock was right over here. Right down here, maybe? There it is. Okay. There you go. We can top up with a little bit of carrot. Grab ourselves a burdock. And 1 more carrot just to be on the safe side. There's actually some berries here too. Normally I wouldn't just fill myself up on meh food, but right now we are literally just trying to make it to 60. That's the only goal of this advanced tutorial. The reason you don't want to like eat all the food in the area willy-nilly like this normally is typically right now, if this were the main game and I was the Eve, I probably would have had at least 1 or 2 babies already, and they would need to eat too. Everybody just needs to survive, but ideally we'd be making like a farm, but we could split up the responsibilities. Oh, here you go. It's perfect. Go ahead and throw this berry down. Don't really need it. More burdock. There we go. Like you could have 1 person work on getting rabbits. You could have another person work on gathering like farm supplies, or you could both work on one thing and supercharge it. I don't know. But the more people you have, the more food you need. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag. More help, but also more resources required to keep you all alive. There's some more burdock down there if I need it. Okay, where did those rabbits go? I think they were all up here, right? There's a ton of rabbits. Holy cow. Where did I put that stuff? Yeah, this mod is great. I love this mod. Being able to zoom out and see everything is so helpful. Okay, here you go. Go ahead and grab these, throw them down over here, smash that, put that there, go ahead, bait this rabbit here. Well, that one's working. I'm going to start grabbing my other supplies I'll need. We'll definitely need both of these. And we're going to need a skewer and some kindling. I'll probably throw those down there. This will be ready to harvest in a second. There we go. Get started on the next one down here. While that's working, I'll go grab something for kindling. There you go. You can grab this, turn it into kindling. And just keep my pips up. There you go. Okay, so now we have ourselves some kindling. Got another rabbit. We're trying to get 5 of these to make a backpack. So that's 3. I'll grab another one of these burdock, get it ready for the next rabbits. Well, that's catching a rabbit. We can turn this into the next item we're going to need. So when we're done with that snare, you can actually break a snare apart. Use the rope to make the bow that you use to make fire. I think it's called fire starting bow, fire bow, something like that. Okay, so grab this, feed those rabbits. What we're going to need next is actually a flint, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that while this rabbit is being caught. About ready to make a fire, eat some rabbits. That will help with our yum bonus. And then also make a backpack, which is like that really, like I said earlier, it more than doubles your carrying capacity in your inventory. Unlike a lot of games, you can't carry, this is in Minecraft, you can't carry every item in the game in your backpack. You have to be very selective about what you choose to bring with you. Like in this early game, if you don't have a basket, you can carry 1 item. And if you have a basket, that's only 3 items because you're carrying the basket also. But with the backpack, you can carry 4 items in your backpack. You can still carry the basket. That's 3 more, giving you 7. And you can actually, there's kind of a couple hidden spots I'll show you later. Let's go ahead and skin these rabbits. And there you go, that's our 5th one. We'll go ahead and, since we have this bait, we'll catch at least 1 more. Might as well since we have it. There's a rabbit right here. Now normally you wouldn't want to catch these holes that just have rabbits in them. These are just rabbit holes. You want a rabbit family hole, and I know that sounds really dark, but the reason is that if it's a rabbit family hole, it'll respawn in an hour. Whereas the rabbit holes, it takes a full 2 hours to respawn. And again, normally you're playing with other people and you don't want to burn through all your resources. Now, sometimes you don't, like especially in these early games, you really don't have a choice. You're just trying to stay alive. But when you do have a choice, only catch rabbit family holes. So there you go. This is how you make a backpack. Now, we're going to need the needle to do that. So to do that, we're going to have to eat one of these rabbits. So kill 2 birds with 1 stone, or 2 rabbits with 1 snare. That's a little joke. Yeah, we're going to eat a rabbit, which will help us with our hunger. To do that, we got to make a fire. So like I said earlier, you can break apart this snare to get that rope back, attach it to this small curved shaft, put this short staff on, and now we have ourselves a fire bow drill to make fire. We're going to need a long shaft. Probably going to have to eat before I'm able to make the rabbits. We need a long shaft, and we need ourselves a skewer. Here you go, you got a skewer right here. We're also going to need at least 1 thread to make that backpack. Let's see if we can find another milkweed to make a thread. No, the milkweed is only found in the meadow, the green areas, so we don't want to venture too far. Okay, there you go. So we have everything we need except for the long straight shaft. Well, as soon as we bring that back to camp, we'll be able to make ourselves a fire and then cook up a rabbit, eat the rabbit, get the bones, make the needle, and make ourselves a backpack, which makes everything so much easier. Okay, let's go get the straight shaft. Not going to carry anything with me because straight shaft has to be carried, can't be put in the backpack. Let's see if I can find one up here. Zoom out a little. Already got that one down there. There was probably one south, but I know there's one right here, so grab that one. Okay, we're really close here. Getting pretty hungry if I see any food on my way back. Yeah, there we go. I like these onions because you don't need anything to harvest them. Okay. So now, make a fire. So if you recall from the tutorial, to make a fire, we need a couple of things. We're going to need some tinder from this juniper tree. And we're going to need a leaf. We can get one from one of these green trees up here, the Lombardy tree, that will work. I'm going to throw that there. I'm going to put the fire bow on the straight shaft to create an ember. Transfer the ember to the tinder using the leaf. Then grab your kindling and throw it on the fire here. We got to wait for that to turn to coals. Again, this is very important. You should never cook rabbit on an open flame. It'll just make a burnt rabbit. Can't eat it, can only be used to make compost, and nobody ever really does that unless you accidentally burnt some food. Typically you're making compost out of like straw, berry, and carrot mix with a little bit of sheep poo and water. Throw some worms on there for good measure to make yourself some worms for fishing. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Right now we're just trying to cook some rabbits. So let's see, this will go out in about a minute. So probably about the next 30 seconds that'll turn to coals, and then we'll cook this rabbit. We'll eat it right away because we're getting pretty hungry. And then what I'll probably do is just cook all of these. It'll help us get through the rest of the tutorial. I can throw them in my backpack. Here we go. I need that. Throw that down. Cook these. If you remember from the first tutorial, we're going to turn those bones into needles here shortly. We are at 36.5. We are working our way to 60, which this is just the advanced tutorial. We are not trying to actually create a new society here. No one is going to play it. Whatever we create here will never be seen again. So it kind of frees you up. You don't have to look for a really good place to settle. You just have to survive. Okay, here we go. Make a backpack. Put that on. You can actually turn these into a nice pair of pants, or you can chop it up and turn two of them into shoes. Like one of these makes a shoe. So what I might actually do is make a hat. Yeah, let's make a hat. So I just need a little bit more thread. I'm going to show you a hat you can make. Just need some thread to do it. Is there any? Here you go. Some milkweed down here. And grab some more milkweed. Make ourselves some thread. I'm showing you how to make all of the variety of clothes. A lot of people will just make a full rabbit fur outfit, which is fine, but it's not necessarily the fastest thing that you can make. What I'm going to make actually right now is a straw hat. I like the little straw hat. You can actually put a feather in the straw hat. It looks pretty cool. I think you can actually put, I've never done it, but I've seen people, I think, wear a feather in the rabbit fur hat, which is pretty cool too. Alright, grab this. You probably seen me do, you saw me do this earlier, so we need to hit this with an unprocessed stick to get the wheat off of it, the threshed wheat off. You can actually use that to make bread and pies and burritos, tortillas to make burritos. But what we're going to use this primarily for right now is to make yourself a nice little straw hat. And there you go. I'll go ahead and make the shoes since I'm here already. Let's go ahead and cut these up. The only shoes I can think of this early in the game would either be the rabbit skin shoes, like without iron. You can get the rabbit shoes, or you can get you can fish up some boots, but that takes a while and some luck. So pretty much these rabbit fur boots are your best option this early in the game. We'll go find 2 more pieces of thread to make that happen. We'll eat a rabbit first. I know it's meh. Again, I don't have a lot of options right now. So while I'm looking for thread, you guys can see I'm already up to 12.3 seconds per pip. If you remember, we started at 6 seconds per pip. So yeah, we're more than double now. That's why it's so important to get closed right away, because basically I'm requiring half as much food at this point. Okay, let's see if I can find some milkweed. I need 3 more milkweed to make this work. I think this is popping up because I keep walking close to the starting area. You can only find milkweed in... Be careful in the mountain biomes. In the mountain and the swamp, there are creatures that can kill you. We haven't really dealt with that yet. I'll go ahead and eat this onion to stay alive. Yeah, there's boars in here that can kill you, and in the mountains there's wolves that can kill you. So you gotta be able to watch out. Yeah, I'm already starting to exhaust the milkweed in the area. That's the one thing that sucks, is you need a milkweed for like everything. And once you start running out of it, you got to kind of start walking a ways to find it. So another thing I actually like to do is right away, maybe actually that's what I'll do. Instead of making shoes, we're going to make a little pouch, because it's a super useful tool. You can use it to transport water without a bowl, so you can actually start farming a lot faster. You can use it to transport rabbit food or bait, so you can actually get more rabbits faster. Since I already have 2 more milkweed over here, I'll go ahead and grab it and make myself a rope. Might as well. Any more around here? Since I'm over here, might as well check. Well, there's 1, 2. One more? Is there one more? There's one over here. Okay, yeah, we'll grab it. Why not? And I'll show you guys a trick I was going to show you earlier, but I didn't have the backpack to show it to you. But now I can. Here we go. Grab the milkweed. Of course, I want to show you the trick now, and we don't have the right tree around to show you. Let's see here. See if I can find. There it is. Okay. So here's a little trick. It's kind of like an extra inventory slot, but only for a bow. But what bows have are rope, and you can actually break this bow with a flint. So it's kind of an extra inventory slot for 2 items. You can turn the shaft of the bow into kindling if you want, and you can carry around a rope that way. Or you can just carry around a bow. But yeah, definitely want to take advantage of all the inventory slots you can get, because you don't get a lot of them. Go ahead and grab. We can actually throw this rope in our backpack and eat this. Get ourselves a few berries to top off our hunger bars. Do not do this when you're playing the normal game and you're in like an actual town full of people and food. Eating meh food it burns through your resources a lot faster. You do not want to do that unless you have no other choice. Okay, here we go. Grab a few more. I'm gonna throw that there. Actually, now that we have a backpack, I'm gonna start throwing all of this food in my backpack. Just gonna live off carrots for a little while. There you go. while I gather my supplies. What we're actually going to do next is probably move over here near the swamp, because that is where the clay is, and that is what we're going to need to start creating iron and steel. All right, let's see, where was down here? Okay. Okay. So I was going to show you guys a couple of things. First of all, let's go ahead and break this open. I'm going to take this needle here, and we're going to make ourselves, a pouch. There you go. We've got a nice little pouch going there. We'll be able to use that to transport water, start up a nice little farm. We'll eat one of these carrots. Actually, I'm going to leave the carrots behind. We're going to start moving things over to our little base camp, which will be in the swamp. I saw some iron. Where was that? It was up here? I guess we could technically... no. I was going to say we could try and get some iron. We might be able to. But you definitely want to set up a little temporary base camp near the swamp. Because that's where the water is, so you can get some farmed foods. Like right here, this is perfect. We got soil and water right next to each other. It's exactly what we need. And we got some clay. We got more clay. Yeah, we got more clay over here. Okay, so this is where we're going to create a little temporary base camp. I don't like to do it in the swamp. I mean, if you have no other choice, that's fine. But when you set it up in the swamp like that, you run the risk of getting attacked by a boar. We haven't seen one yet, but it is very dangerous in the swamp until the boar has been dealt with. Okay, you can actually stack these, stack some of these. We can stack that. Okay, I'm going to go back and we're going to get the rest of our supplies, and then we're going to build a little base camp here, a little temporary base camp. Now we'll worry about that later. Good, we got ourselves a couple of saplings here, so we're going to use those along with the soil, some water. We're going to make a little farm too. And then we can start getting yum food again. Okay, let's see here. Down there. I keep forgetting where all this stuff is. That's why I like this mod so much. You can zoom out if you forget where you were. We can combine these two right here to make one item. We're definitely going to want our hatchet, and we're going to want our fire bow. That's 3 items in there, and then the other 4 will go in our backpack. Here you go. I got room for one more. What do I want to take with me? I'll take the flint, or the weak skewer. There we go. Yeah, we'll take that. Okay. I don't know if that's the best one to take, but I'm going to take it. Probably should have taken that rabbit fur piece, but the choice was made. Okay. Now we're going to make ourselves a little temporary base camp. For the purposes of this advanced tutorial, it probably will just be where we live until we die of old age. But when you're trying to make a civilization, it's fine to make a little temporary camp while you gather up supplies and look for a more permanent home to settle in. Alright, here we go. So what we're going to want to do first, since we have that pouch, we can actually get started right away with a little farm. That's why I like to make the pouch. I'm going to use that weak skewer. There you go. We're going to eat one of these. Keep our pips up. Yeah, it's really nice to have a bunch of rabbits in the beginning. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, I don't want to forget this. We're going to make a little farm. We will need our sharp stone for this. Do I have a sharp stone? Yeah, okay. Because we're going to use that sharp stone to break a couple of saplings. Saplings will turn into skewers. If you're lucky, you can plow about probably maybe like 10 spots. With 2 of these, we should definitely be able to start a nice little farm. If we can't, we'd be very unlucky. Okay, so like I said earlier, we're going to take these skewers and we're going to bring them up here near this pond, this duck. We're probably going to want to, actually, now that I think about it, we're going to want to kill this duck. Because if you drain the swamp and the duck is still there, or the goose, yeah, goose, it will fly away and you'll lose it. And in a game where your resources keep you alive, you don't want to lose any potential food. We can also use a cooked goose to create a knife. I don't know if I'll get the chance to show you that in this tutorial, but know that that is the case. Okay, so we're going to put this here near the water where we'll use it. We can eat that egg later. And now we're going to make a nice little farm. Six should be fine. 6 little spots here. There you go. Alright, that's plenty. So we'll take a skewer. Alright, that's plenty for now. Now we gotta go grab some like seeds, something to actually grow. We're gonna want to take our tools with us. So at this point in the game, I actually like to keep 3 things in my backpack: a flint, a round stone, and the last thing is where is it? What did I do with the sharp stone? Yeah, it's over here. Okay, take the basket with us. So yeah, even in an advanced civilization, I usually carry around those 3 items. Sometimes if I'm farming, I'll definitely have one of these little pouches. But if you have a round stone, a sharp stone, and a flint in your backpack, you can pretty much, you won't have to go searching for those things, because a lot of stuff in the game will require one of those 3 items to process. So here you go. I just grabbed a wild carrot seed. Now that the seed's gone, I might as well eat it. So now we can grow carrots. You actually want to grow a lot of carrots. You can grow some cucumbers. What I want to focus on right now is food that I can just eat without cooking or processing or anything. And that is typically going to be your carrot, your cucumbers, onion, garlic, kind of, but I'd need a bowl. Let's see, anything else I can grow? We can grow some squash since we have 6 spots. Might as well grow some of that. I'm full up. Alright, we'll just take these 3 back for now. So, and other things that you can eat without processing, tomatoes, but you would need a bowl in order to get the seeds. Hot peppers, those are great, because all you need is a flint to turn hot pepper into a seed, and you can eat it right off the plant. That's really what we want right now, is foods you can eat right off the plant, because we want to keep our yum bonus up. Alright, here we go. And you just throw these, most of these you just throw on the ground. The onion is going to grow into a seed, and then we have to replant it. The cucumber, we're going to have to cut open with a flint. And you see what I mean? By just having that on me, I don't have to go looking for it. And then here we go, the carrots right here. So these 2, these will just grow into food I can eat right away. This will grow into a little sapling, and then I have to throw a skewer into it to make sure it finishes growing. Will those grow? Oh, I need to water them. I need to water them, but before I do, let me eat. I'm getting hungry. Alright, so that is why I carried around this water pouch. Go ahead and water these onions, these carrots, these cucumbers. 53.1. I think we're going to make it, no problem. Yeah, we won't even need to really farm anything else, but what I will do is, just for fun, we'll make ourselves a kiln and an oven. So to make a kiln, we just need 2 of these, sorry, 3 of these to make a kiln with some reed. We're going to combine the clay and the reed to make adobe. Yeah, adobe. There you go. Go ahead and come back for those. I could probably be using my backpack more efficiently, but I really like carrying around those 3 tools. I hate looking for them. I'd rather, like, unless I'm like going a really far distance and need to transport a lot of stuff, I'd really prefer just to keep those in my backpack in case I need them. For example, right now, if I didn't have this stone right here, I'd have to go looking for one, but I have one in my backpack, so I don't need to worry. There you go, I got myself an oven. Go ahead and eat some of these, throw the rest off to the side, and get started on the kiln. So that's the oven. This will be with a location for the kiln. I'm gonna need at least 3 more of these. Again, oh, I can hear it. So there is a boar somewhere around here. I turned off the hostile creature. There's a hostile creature radar. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that back on. I don't feel like dying right now. Okay. So now we should see a little red square if it shows up. Alright, gonna throw that on the ground. Sharp stone, sharp stone, sharp stone. We're gonna start grabbing these reeds, combining them with the clay to make adobe. Okay. So now we got enough adobe to make a kiln and 1 extra to make charcoal. What we're gonna want to do next, if you saw the last tutorial, is, again, it is so great having this backpack with my tools that I'm gonna go looking for them. There we go. So now we're gonna gather up some clay. This actually isn't a great spot. I should have moved these over. This is gonna get in the way, but this is just a temporary base. We're not gonna save it or anything like that. I do want to show you one thing here real quick. You can use this basket to completely empty out this soil pit. And then if you take out these worms in here, this is now a wormless soil pit. That is how you get the mushroom. But it takes an hour. After you create a wormless soil pit, it takes an hour to create that mushroom. So pretty much we're doing that for our children and our children's children. But that's like a lot of the game. Most of the game, you're actually creating things for your descendants, not for yourself. It's kind of beautiful that way. I really like it. I mean, you can come back. A lot of time, I mean, I've been reborn to towns that I built stuff in. I think you actually get reborn once immediately. So you'd be able to see the fruits of your labor. And then after getting reborn to it once, you're usually reborn into a different town. But eventually you're going to come back. You'll see a lot of the progress that was made after you left. It's really cool. We don't have a lot of time left. You're going to start hearing the music here pretty soon. Probably any second now. We're going to go ahead and try to make some pottery before that happens. Need 1 more piece. We'll grab 3 since we have the basket. Again, this is the advanced tutorial. The only purpose of this playthrough was to stay alive until 60 to prove that I am ready for the real game. You can hear that music. That means I got about 2.5 minutes left until I die of old age. If this were the real game, hopefully I'd have had some children at some point to keep our civilization thriving. If you're the last female, fertile female in your village, you really want to get what you want to do is get your food bonus up really high, your yum bonus, and you want to kind of stay in town near the nursery. There's usually a nursery. That's important because if you're the last fertile female, you need to make more villagers. I know that sounds a little twisted, but without babies and new players, a village will die, even if you have a ton of resources and supplies. Okay, now we're gonna make ourselves some tongs. There's really no point. I mean, I'm gonna survive because I got these 2 rabbits here, but might as well keep playing until I die of old age, just to see how far I can get. So now we're gonna get ourselves some kindling. We'll grab 2 so we can make the fire and then start the furnace. Start the kiln, I should say. Okay, we'll make the fire right there. That's there. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's a fine spot. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna die soon. Actually, we need another straight shaft. I got another mod that puts these little B's at the top. Stands for branch. Lets you know. You see it disappears after you grab the branch, because a lot of times it's hard to see. Hard to see those branches. All right, go ahead and turn this into a long straight shaft. And grab our bow. I don't think I am gonna actually get a chance to make any pottery because we're gonna die in about 30 seconds, but we'll give it a shot here. Grab some of this, throw it down here. Yeah, here I go. I'm about to die. Oh no, will I get a chance to even make a fire? No, oh no, I'm dying of old age. Well, it was fun while it lasted. There you go. That's the advanced tutorial. The only purpose of that playthrough was to live till 60, which I did, so I would call that a success. If I wasn't talking and trying to like explain what I was doing, I probably could have made it to iron, honestly. I mean, if I'm just focused in the zone, doing everything I need to do, easily you could get to at least some iron tools in an advanced tutorial playthrough. But really the only purpose of that is to make it to 60. So after that, you start playing the real game. You got 2 choices really. You can play on like a private server and just build a civilization on your own, which is a lot of work and kind of boring. The only way that that works though is you can't die of starvation, and you can't be murdered by an animal or another player. If as long as you live to old age, you'll be reborn wherever you died. So technically you could create a whole village or town by yourself, but at some point it almost becomes just too much of a grind and it's too tedious. Early stages, yeah, you could build like a tiny little town on your own, but when you start getting higher up in the technology tree, I mean, you need a lot of people. Like some stuff literally requires a lot of people. To make a rocket, you have to have people there. But even some of the earlier level stuff, like if you're busy smithing and creating a new common engine, which I'm sure we'll go over later, you're gonna want somebody cooking and making food. If you're making food, you're not advancing your smithing and your technology, and eventually your water runs out. And you need that technology in order to access more difficult sources of water and eventually kerosene and other things. So, yes, you can play by yourself, but really the game is meant to be played together with other people. It's about creating a civilization together. And you just play one small part of that, just 1 hour, hopefully contributing to society. Some people just farm the whole time, help people get food. Some people smith the whole time. But in an advanced society, much like in the real world, the possibilities are endless. Like I've seen some people just do something artistic, just create a beautiful piece of architecture, or create a fun little pie shop. It's not necessarily important to have a pie shop to survive. You need pies, but you don't necessarily need like a beautiful little pie shop with like gardening and stuff. But that's the kind of stuff that makes life worth living. It gives the village character. It makes people come back and want to play some more. So in a way, those types of players have their own part to play, just like anybody else. But at this point, I'm rambling. You've just watched the advanced 1 hour 1 life tutorial. Next time I come back, we should be playing on the actual server with other players. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time. Thank you for joining me here on RoosterBrewster Games.